So we know how you collected these people that are sending you the evil eye or hiring Etsy witches. And we already know from Spirit that you don't need to do anything. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because I don't think I went far enough into it. And we already know also that in some way relates to your heart space. And throughout this video and probably like upcoming parts, I'm going to share with you how it related to me, because I have a feeling that not only are you supposed to see this, but it relates directly to me as well, because it couldn't be more accurate. And at some point I'll do a video where I say all of the things that like how it related to me, but there's just so many things. So it's hard for me to like remember. I need to like write it down, all of the signs, because it relates to readings that I've had like months ago. Readings that I sent to particular people who are like related to this. So I really wonder if the people that I've sent readings to, if they even connect the signs of what's happening lately with things that I said would happen. So this video, we are actually going to break down who the 3 to 4 people are that are involved in this and who they're related to. On my end, it said that I know like one of them only from online, and also the reading prefaced YouTube. And in my head, I was like, oh, they want me to post this only on YouTube. And I'm like,
oh, it must be someone who just watches YouTube. I
can't imagine who, because I mean, I just don't really know anyone who only watches YouTube. I have a feeling that one of the people is someone that I have posted about what they've done to me on YouTube. And that would have been 2018, around there. 2018, 2019. Before we draw any cards, I wanted to share one of the reasons why I said I would not be returning to sender. Obviously, during this entire scenario, I've had like near misses, but mostly it's been hitting my dog Lucky. And he didn't just get sick, but he also like got attacked. When I pulled the Woolworths card, I kind of had a giggle and I was like, why the hell would Woolworths come into this? And then when I pulled the dream card, I was like, oh, maybe it's because of the dream that I had. But it also relates to other signs and other things that, like, even last weekend when I shared that reading and I said, oh, my cards have been telling me I need to stay home, otherwise something bad will happen. And I brought up like the garbage bag, brought up the common minor bird, I brought up the sirens, the alarm bells, the warning, warning, warning. White cars have been coming up as well. Also, the warning card paired with the gate card. I did a personal reading for someone the day that all that freaky stuff happened, and 2 warning cards came out with the gate card, and I said, oh. And the person I did the reading for, because I was like, do you have a gate or something? And he was like, I don't know. Like, it may relate to our gate here. And so I was like, oh, okay, maybe. When I got home and I walked into the gate, that's where I found all that stuff. The ripped up V green cardboard that Lucky got sick from. And I really want to do a quick preface on that before I tell you the other stuff that's happened, the near miss stuff that's happened to me, like literally almost dying. And then also the things that have happened to Lucky, but really, really quickly. The morning after the freaky stuff happened, and I cleaned up Lucky's spew with whatever had, like, honestly, I'm gonna say poisoned him. I'd left it in a black garbage bag outside because I'd cleaned it mid-reading and I wanted to quickly get to the reading. So I left it out there, and it was like hail raining that night. So yeah, we seriously just left it outside. But when I woke up in the morning and I opened the door, I saw it on the ground and I got really weird vibes about it. And I was like, I could pick it up, but I was running late, but then also, when am I not running late? But then also I was like, weird vibes about this. I don't know how, I just don't want to touch it. So I stepped over it. And then when I left, I just kind of had a weird vibe. So on my way to work, there is like a really long road, and the speed limit is like 80. I was going a little bit more than 80, but so was everyone else, and especially the person behind me in a red car. Now, I've driven on this road plenty of time. I think it was like school holidays or something, and I just was very depressed because I had been ghosted by the person I really, really liked. At that point, he'd ghosted me a few times. And he would just come in thinking that I would always wait. And at that point, I was waiting. Anyway, I was sad, to say the least. And I was chasing the sunset. And I found myself driving all the way to this road. It's usually the road that takes me to work. And so it's a little bit further away. I drove by this place and there was a black dog on the side of the road. And because my dog Nonnu had passed away because she got hit by a car, and asking the real estate and the owner to fix the gate for, I think at that point, like a year and a half. And they kept saying, oh yeah, we will, and they just never did. And so I had to put this like vibrational collar on Nonnu because she, you know, before I got her, she was a stray. So she would just go any which way that she wanted to go. And even though I love and fed her and everything, she was just a free spirit. At this time, I was being very heavily harassed by the person I think my readings is bringing out. And at that point, I didn't realize that it would ever get to the level that it has gotten to now, like all these years later. At that point, it was very much, to me, it was like, it was still scary, and people had said, you need to get a restraining order on this person. But at the time, I was in my like YouTube era. Like, I was in my posting anything and everything that people were doing to me. But with this particular person, I think I waited like 6 months to see if it would die down. And it never did. It just got more and more intense, like more and more obsessed with me, more and more scary. So at that point in time, I was posting. It was like this big expose. I never said her name, but it was very close to her name. And I thought silence didn't fix it. So maybe speaking my truth will fix it. It made it worse. And so while I was like going through all of that, this person was very much meddling in my, not just my actual career, but also like messaging kind of like the companies that I would work with and anyone I would try and be friends with. And that's when Nonnu got hit by a car because of the hole in the gate. So for a while now, my readings have been bringing up Nonnu watching over you, Mimi watching over you, Baby watching over you. Those are all the dogs I've ever had in my life who are no longer with us. On school holidays, when I was driving down this road and I saw this black dog on the side of the road, I always stop when I see a dog. I will always let a dog into my car. I don't care if it messes up the leather, I don't care if it's like going to attack me, whatever. I don't want anyone to go through what I went through, losing my dog, especially because like, man, I got a ticket when they called me about Nonnu. I was driving that fast that I got a speeding ticket, and I was in tears, and I told the man, I'm literally on my way to the vet. They said that she's going to die soon, and that if I get there quickly, I'll be able to see her before she goes. He still gave me a ticket, but he was like, you know, I'd be doing the same thing, but I still have to give you a ticket. And I was like, hurry up. And when I saw her, it was too late. She had been in like their freezer for a little while. And when like these cards were coming out saying I should stay home and that Nonnu, Mimi, Baby were watching over me, I like, because I'm trying to get my passport done, I had my like, you know, you've got your folder with like your birth certificate and everything in it. I had pictures of Nonnu, and in like those pictures as well, like I have like pictures of when, just of like her fur, because they had to cover the majority of her body when I went to see her. So the pictures that I have in that little folder are just like of just like small parts of her body, because I like wanted to like take some last pictures. So when that stuff came out in the reading and I was getting ready and I was grabbing my keys, the folder had fallen. This was not last week, the week before. And the pictures that I'd taken of her when she was like, when I was saying like goodbye to her, fell out of the folder. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's a sign. You may be coming across old documents as if by accident, but it's not an accident. We're sending you signs to help you remember. But I didn't think much about the cards that came out with the cards that said that they were watching over me. The day after that weird stuff happened to Lucky, poisoned, I stepped over the bag because I didn't want to touch it. I went to work, I drove down that road, and that same black dog ran in front of my car. I didn't hit it, I slammed on my brakes, but the red car behind me were like angry. And I'm like, are we not seeing the same thing? Like, do you want me to hit this dog? Or, you know, and they did the flash thing to me. I pulled over. Mind you, the last time I saw this dog, it barked at me when I tried to like put it, like, go on, you know, and the way that I speak to animals is like I speak with my baby voice. But the other day I pulled over and it was being very strange. It like moved back away from me and it sat down and it like bowed its head almost like in submission. That's not how you were with me before, like, and I was like, come on, because I know where it lives. And it just kind of lives down the road, but it's like a little ways down the road and there's so many cars, mind you, going like 85 Ks down this road. And I'm like, oh, I almost just hit you. So I'm trying to get it in my car. I open up the door and I'm like, come on. And I'm like, come on, baby. And like in hindsight, baby, my dog, you know? And so I'm like, come on, baby, come on, let's go, let's go. And it's bowed its head in submission. And I'm like, this is so strange. I'm like, quickly, you know, let's go. And then like when I like thought about going to go and grab it, because I had a collar on, it got up and it started walking like into the brush, but it kept looking back at me. And I'm like, this is spooky strange. And it even walked through, because it's been raining a lot lately, it even walked through a puddle that was that deep that it went like up to its like, what's this called? Like their actual body. And it kept looking back at me, kept looking back at me. And I'm like, this is so strange. And I'm like, well, I'm not going through this like low-key lake into the brush. I'm wearing high heels and I'm already running late for work. So I keep driving to work, and almost like the second I thought about slipping into a daydream, a noisy miner, it's like this far away from my windshield, and it scared me to the point where it made me jump. It made me slow down driving. And I was like, holy, something is trying to stop me from like going into a daydream right now. I get a little closer to work. We're in a little bit more of like the suburb vibes now. And the speed limit is much lower. So I am going slower, but there are two common miners that are like, it's like a pair, and they're walking very slowly across the road. And even though I'm going 60 and it's slower, I still have to slow all the way down because they don't even budge. It's like they were trying to slow me down. I had a massive day with no breaks, 0 breaks. And it's the day that I have like all of my grade 7s. So it's a very exhausting day. I also did 2 in-person readings. One of them was so deep. I actually had to stop, and my cards told me to stop because my head, like when I do readings, it exhausts me. But it's only recently that I'm doing readings for strangers, like in person, and that paired with my autism is like I need to find a balance of how to not completely drain myself, because it's like a social thing as well. Like when I do readings like this, I don't really have to, you know, process anyone's facial expressions or like, you know, try and change the way that I'm talking or be in a kind of way. I can just be whatever. Anyway, so I'm exhausted. I'm not really paying too much attention, and I'm back on that road. There is a black ute in front of me, and I've got like a 1.5 to 2 cars distance like in between us, but we're going very fast. Because again, that's like the speed limit on the road. It's like farmland type vibes. All of a sudden, because I am in my daydream now, I was that exhausted. The only thing that snapped me out of it was my alarm system in my car. Sirens, warning, garbage bag, bin, willy bag tails, common miner.
Meet
I snap to attention. The car in front of me, the black ute, has slammed on its brakes because there is a white car doing skids and burnouts, and they're losing control of their car and they're heading right towards us. I slam my brakes on just in time. The black ute has gone now off into the, you know, when there's road and then there's like green stuff, but we're in like Farmville land. So there's like lots of brush there. So they've almost actually gone off the thing. They've, you know, and I have stopped just in time. Had that alarm system in my car not gone off, I would have at 85 kilometers gone into the back of that. I would have been dead. I would have been dead. Then I'm getting closer to home and I get a phone call. And this is where the dream comes into it. So the night before, I had 2 dreams. One of them seemed very insignificant to me. The dream was that I was going to Woolworths to buy butter. And then I got a phone call. And then my second dream was about like an exam that my students were having, which they did have that day. And I just thought, oh, I must have just dreamed about that because like I know my kids are having an exam that day, and in my dream someone was asking to do their exam on Monday and I was saying no. Which someone did ask me and I did say no, but then I changed my mind and I said yes. So now that was my dream. I had 2 dreams and they were very brief, seemed insignificant. One of them was going to Woolies to get butter, one of them was about an exam. Anywho. So after I almost just die on my way home, I'm like, how crazy is it that today I've almost, you know, been in so many accidents, and then the night before I almost just bloody die. For some reason my kitchen is flooded and then my dog has been like poisoned. I'm like, this is so crazy. So I'm pulling up and there is a Woolworths near my house, and I'm in the lane where you turn to go in, and all of a sudden I get a call from an unknown number, and I was like, how strange. So I answer it and I say, hello. It is the dog walker's wife or girlfriend, and she's calling me to like break news to me that Lucky had been attacked by another dog and that he was okay, but the other dog did draw blood like all on his nose. And I was like, oh, Lucky's been in the wars in my head. I'm like, at first he gets poisoned and then now he's gotten attacked. And she was like, you know, the dog that attacked him was like the same size as him, like looked like big giant dog, but was only a puppy. So like the teeth that they had wasn't enough to do, like didn't have enough power to actually go anything more than just like, you know, a bleeding snout. And I'm thinking, this is so strange. And I pull into the Woolies, I'm in the car park, and I'm like, it has to be connected, especially because I'd drawn the Woolworths card the night before. And I was like, this is going to sound really strange and I'm really sorry if this sounds weird. And I brought up the cardboard, like the ripped up cardboard. And her reaction to it, she was like, I saw that when I went to go and pick up Lucky today. And she was like, I thought it was just so weird. And I was like, it is really weird. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know, like if this lady is like into any of this stuff or if she believes in any of this stuff, but I also don't want to scare off my dog walkers. So I was trying to be vague about it. I was like, oh, you know, I just like, I'm worried that someone like knows where I live. I know I've got cameras, but is it possible for you to ask your partner if yesterday he, you know, dropped anything or like if he noticed it? And she was like, yeah, I like definitely will. And she was like, yeah, I also saw the garbage bag like outside your door, and like Lucky avoided it, like he jumped over it. And in my head I was like, yeah, because he knows that someone's
Tried to poison him.
I'm like, yeah, can you just like let me know ASAP? She let me know. So, you know how in that video I was like, I need to check my cameras. As you can see, when I leave the house, Lucky is locked up in his crate. I leave, there's no cardboard there. The only other person to come through is the dog walker who comes like an hour after I've left the house. He walks in, doesn't drop anything, there's nothing there. He walks directly to the crate, gets Lucky out, and they leave immediately. Lucky doesn't run around, he doesn't pick anything up, they leave immediately. In the time that there's no one at the property, the green ripped up cardboard, which you can tell was ripped up by a human. If you own dogs, you know what it looks like when a dog rips up something versus when a human rips them up into like little pieces. So he's taken Lucky. Lucky has had no chance to rip anything up anyway. He takes Lucky, and in that time, the 50 minutes that they were away, the cardboard is there. When they come back, he doesn't let Lucky run around. I mean, he never does. He doesn't let Lucky run around. Lucky's exhausted. They go straight to the crate, and he puts Lucky in the crate and locks it. I come home that afternoon, and then I let Lucky inside. Mind you, Lucky is an indoor dog. He's not an outdoor dog. He hardly spends time outside. And when it's raining, the dog walkers are like, there's no point because he doesn't like to be in the rain. As soon as he feels some rain, he's like, we're going home. So the only time that Lucky was outside was probably for 30 seconds. And I'm standing at the door and he's peed over there, not over there. And he comes inside. So there has been no point in the cameras where Lucky has had the chance to rip anything up. Still cannot explain how it is there. But I know that I should have done something earlier because the second I saw it, I had the weirdest vibe. And then later on, when Lucky had gotten really sick, and mind you, he was more than just sick. He vomited, but then he laid on his bed for ages, and usually he comes straight to bed. He sleeps in my bed. Again, he's a prince and he's treated very well. Okay, but he just laid on his bed. He didn't even want any more dinner. He'd thrown up his dinner and he didn't want to eat anything else. And he also drank water like crazy. He was a sad guy. After she'd sent me the text message saying the dog walker noticed the cardboard only when he brought Lucky back, not when he left, I was like, this is freaky. So I go into Woolworths and then I come back. Yes, they were just surface wounds, but he was bleeding enough to get blood on my shirt and to get blood on the bed. There is a reason that my readings kept telling me, stay home, something bad is going to happen. And a lot of you might be sitting there and thinking, gosh, all of this stuff that's happening, why are you still telling us not to do anything about it? Shouldn't you do something about it? Shouldn't you send that energy back? And the reason that I'm saying that you shouldn't do anything about it is because, not only because the cards said and have confirmed multiple times, don't do anything, your ancestors have this. I think the only reason that they've let this come through, and they've warned me so many times and kind of honestly saved me each time, with the car accident, with the almost slipping over and landing on my back, with Lucky getting bloody poisoned, and then Lucky getting attacked, and then, all of this stuff. I think it was because the truth is now going to come out, and I don't think I ever would have hosted as much advice or as much as of my truth had it not been so abundantly clear and crazy. And I also don't think you would watch this if the crazy stuff wasn't aligning, because I think there is a message in here for certain people. I think there is someone that is going through something similar and you need this advice, because if you're anything like me, especially if you are undiagnosed and you're not medicated, chances are you are going to want to react. You are going to be emotional and impulsive. Spirit is saying don't. And I almost did something. I don't play about my dogs. I don't play about that kind of stuff. But the thing that gives me solace, and the thing that I've kind of been smiling about this whole time when I've been putting things back together, and I've mentioned her in my readings even before any of this happened, one of the people that forever comes up in my readings, not just when I read myself, but when other people read me, is the deity Hecate. She shows up in a bunch of different cultures as well. It's not just Greek mythology. She's got dominion over the sky, sea, and I think, the land as well, but also of the underworld. So she looks after anyone on a crossroads, but also witchcraft. And she is known to be like she looks after dogs, namely black dogs. She showed up in my dreams and my visions on multiple occasions. Evil Eye by an ex-friend.
Guys, when I'm going back and I'm editing this video, I can't even believe how many times the 333, like the number, came out. And Hecate has 3 heads or 3 bodies because she can see from every angle. And how many dogs came out? So if you're like me and whatever happened to you, you want clarity on, or you want the truth to finally come out, I think that's what's happening. Like, honestly, in the upcoming reading, I think that's your clarity. I think that's your truth.
You feel like you have to face these obligations alone, but you're not alone. Heed my counsel. You have the capability to take up these challenges that you're facing. They are not insurmountable. My thing just landed on karma. I don't know why I said 52. That must be important. If you're meddling in this realm, specifically from your ego and trying to hurt people, karma comes back to you because it's not your job. 3 times. 3 people. You feel like you have to face these obligations alone, but you're not alone. Challenges that you're facing, they are not insurmountable. The truth is now going to come out. 3 seems to be very important because 3 people, and also consecutive numbers. Interesting. Since this stuff has hit my dog, I'm concerned for you. If you've sent me that and it's hit my dog, literally, look at her. This is Hecate. There's a reason why there are 2 black dogs there howling at the moon. I'd be worried for you. The truth is going to come out. That's why you don't need to do anything. So I'm assuming whatever is going on with you, there's a reason you're seeing this message. There's a reason that I'm telling you don't do anything. And one of those reasons is because you probably are divinely protected. Whoever sent this, if your kids are sick, if your dogs are sick, if your pets are sick, if someone that's like immunocompromised, if someone around you is sick, or if you're sick, I don't like wish that on you. There is a delicate balance in the world, and return to sender, it's just as bad. And I'm really, really glad that I stopped myself. I was about to tell you what, but I was rewarded when I did stop myself, and that reading was confirmation for me. I've been yapping to you for 40 minutes and there's so much more to tell you. And we're gonna draw some cards and we're gonna see what the story is, because there's more than one person, and I'm very intrigued. Very, very intrigued.